And just the fact that it really does attempt to be the single biggest, baddest, best Zelda game, whereas Portrait of Ruin is a Castlevania game, but they're not trying to be. It's not trying to be the penultimate Castlevania game, or excuse me, the ultimate Castlevania game.
Sure,
penultimate, not actually meaning more than ultimate.
Yeah, I'll say Zelda 2, only because if I wanted a good 20th anniversary Castlevania, it would be like more of a platformer, like the old ones.
Yeah, I guess I'll have to go with Zelda 2. For the 20th anniversary of Castlevania, I bought Rondo of Blood, and that's pretty much the classic game perfected. Zelda... Zelda, I think what sold me was the final battle, where you're going through like a remix of every different Ganon fight you've ever had before. I don't know if you guys have finished the game, but I'm spoiling it for you. Hey. So, like, not only are you...
Ganon's in Zelda?
Yeah, I know, it's shocking, huh? But yeah, you've got, like, Puppet Ganon, except instead of being... Ganon is a puppet, he's controlling Zelda, and that's awesome. And then you're, like, doing the reflection with your sword thing back and forth until one of you screws up. That's, kind of a classic by this point.
A single Zelda boss battle is better.
You've got
better.
Ganon the pig.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, any one Zelda boss battle is better than, like, just about every boss battle in every game ever. But, like, the fact that this one boss battle throws so many different forms...
It's like 6 different boss battles.
It's above and beyond the Call of Duty, quite frankly.
And it incorporates, like, all these different elements from the classic Zeldas, from, all the past games. Plus, then it tosses in some random stuff that you totally forgot about in Twilight Princess. Like, oh yeah, I remember when I had to grab the boar and toss it to the side. I totally forgot about that, but all of a sudden I have to do it again.
Well, as I said, everything is in that game for a reason. You'd be like, why am I hurting this shit? Oh, you're gonna have to do it again later.
It's
there's
not
nothing
just
in
for
there.
Gorons anymore.
Nothing arbitrary in there.
Mm-hmm. That's right. Yeah. So okay, 4-0. Zelda wins. Castlevania, pack it up and go home. Nice try. Better luck on the 25th anniversary.
I was going to say, though, a good 20th anniversary Castlevania, it kind of sounds like a cop-out. It's going to sound like one. But, like, a Dracula X plus Symphony of Night, like, seamless, one huge game sort of thing. That would be
pretty awesome.
That'd be really, really amazing.
That'd be the ultimate fan service, but, it would still become a cop-out, because an original game would probably be...
Yeah, but...
There's something to be said for revisiting the past.
Yeah. That'd be pretty hot.
That'd be pretty great, yeah.
Upgraded to PS3 graphics, high-resolution 2D.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 1080p.
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 Widescreen.
Yep.
Where's that eye?
And maybe they can put some new voice acting in.
No. That they can't do.
Man, pitiful.
We already spent all our budget on 1080p.
Yeah.
A miserable pile of secrets.
That's it.
That's what it is.
That's the one.
Yes. Knew he was going to get that in there somewhere.
He asked. And now it's time for the virtual selection section, where we talk about the games we want to download and pay money for, even though we already owned them in their original forms. For me, I'm going to go with Castlevania Bloodlines, partly because I feel guilty for having advertised this episode as being about Bloodlines, but also because I've still never really played the game all the way through, and I'd probably feel more motivated playing it on Wii than I did on Nomad.
Yeah.
If the Wii can make me love Gunstar Heroes, it can make me love anything. Yeah. And I will play all the way through Bloodlines, especially if it lets you suspend the game in the final battle gauntlet, which I've heard is just freaking brutal.
I hate those, yeah. But Bloodlines was the one Castlevania I've probably played the most of.
Really?
I think so, yeah. Just because it was, at the time, it was like...
You had a Genesis?
Yeah. And I kind of stupidly skipped Castlevania 4. When it came out.
That's okay. That'll be downloadable sooner.
I was young, it was creepy. Yeah. It scared me. But
whereas the dripping blood in Bloodlines, that was cool.
Yeah. I liked Bloodlines. I kind of liked, it kind of felt arcadey.
It did. It had a very arcadey feel. It was very Genesis-y.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's to say pretty arcadey.
Yeah. Treasury.
I don't know so much about that. I think like Contra Hardcore was more
but
treasury
that was
than
like
Bloodlines.
the Konami Genesis
thing.
Yeah. They did a much better
Like,
job than Capcom did, I think. On
Do the
whole.
blast processing, make it work.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'd be happy to see Bloodlines. I'd pay
Mhm.
$8 for that, or $6 if it came out on the import Wii. Yes. And Ray, so what's your selection for the week?
Well, since we were talking about Zelda and everything, I thought about one of my favorite Genesis games, Crusader of Senti.
Really?
Yeah. I bought it for like on a Friday, and my friend came over, and then we basically just beat it the following weekend, through the rest of the weekend. And I really enjoyed it for some reason. I mean, it is absolutely a Link to the Past clone, but it has its own moments.
There are some good Link to the Past clones out there. I haven't played Crusader of Senti, but I liked Alundra a lot. I may be the only person who liked Alundra a lot because most people were turned off by the challenge, but I liked the fact that it kicked my ass because Zelda never really did that to me.
Yeah. Oh, I just thought, I thought of a better Link to the Past clone, which I mentioned before in my Super Nintendo. Gunparu? Gunman's Proof?
Oh,
I
yeah, you mentioned that
Super-
before.
yeah,
Right.
in my anniversary feature before. That is a 1-to-1 Link to the Past clone.
Even more so than Alundra.
Oh, yes.
Wow.
The graphics, it's for Super Nintendo, by the way.
Oh, okay.
The graphics are exactly the same, pretty much. It's like Link to the Past with a bit of Earthbound. It's from 1997.
So it's like psychedelic Link to the Past?
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Well, you hear that, Nintendo? Probably not.
No, it's
Chris.
You know, I didn't really realize that I wanted this until yesterday, but I want Devil's Crush now.
Yeah.
You know, because
But it's got Alien
that's actually
Crush.
what I thought. Yeah, well, I want Devil's Crush
Don't you
now.
want to space it out a little?
Well, no, I want it immediately.
Get all our good pinball right up at the front?
Devil's Crush was the sequel.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. I mean, Alien Crush is cool, but it only has one board, and
Yeah.
it kind of flips back and forth. And from what I understand, I've never actually played Devil's Crush, but it's it's better.
Yeah, I pressed start in Alien Crush, and it's like the thing is, it's just music. It's not.
Yeah.
There's two options.
Yeah.
Actually.
Apparently, I want more video pinball for Virtual Console.
I guess this segues into our what are you playing now, because you're playing Alien Crush.
Alien Crush. Yep.
Are you playing anything else?
Yeah. No, not really.
Oh.
Isn't that weird? Like I know I should be finishing up Zelda, but I started playing Zelda last night, and I'm like, and I really just wanted to play Alien Crush.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Power
Better
of
than
retro.
Figure that
Zelda.
shit out.
Did
Yeah.
you hear that, Internet?
Alien
Probably not.
Crush greater than sign Zelda.
Right. Damn. That's pretty controversial.
Isn't that weird?
That's hard hitting. Ray,
Power of
what's
retro.
going on in your
Yeah.
consoles?
I finished up Zelda a couple days ago. Finished up the last of our playthrough of that, pretty much. The guide's pretty much done. Videos are coming.
Okay, but are you playing anything for fun?
I was getting into that.
Okay.
I was going to say, actually,
Sorry.
Portrait of Ruin. Playing a lot of that.
For fun.
Also, for fun
Okay.
and just stuff for a guide.
I'm sorry I
when it comes
spoiled the
up.
last battle for you.
Whatever.
Okay.
That's pretty much it, yeah. And Alien Crush and a bit of SimCity earlier this week.
All right.
Yeah.
As for myself, I'm only playing stuff for work because that's just how life is right now. But mostly I've been playing Rogue Galaxy lately, which ties in interestingly to Dragon Quest IX, because Dragon Quest IX is also being developed by Level 5, just
Yep.
like Rogue
Yes.
Galaxy. And I have every confidence that Dragon Quest IX will be better than Rogue Galaxy, because Rogue Galaxy is not really it's not really winning my heart at the moment. I had high hopes for it, but it's kind of not quite there. I think the big problem is that, it's got the Skies of Arcadia thing going on, which I really like, but then the battle system is basically Kingdom Hearts, like really Kingdom Hearts. And not Kingdom Hearts 2,
Oh, I was gonna say.
but Kingdom Hearts, where you have a really crappy camera that's way too tight, so you can't see everything that's happening. You have brain dead AI companions who are wasting your consumable items and dying a lot. And it kind of wears on you. After
So
a
like
while.
Final Fantasy 12, if every gambit was just use a potion over and over.
Yeah, pretty much. There are no magic skills to recover your life, as far as I've been able to tell. There's a skill building system that's basically, well, it is the Sphere Grid, but not nearly as diverse. It's like Sphere Grid Junior from Final
Gotcha.
Fantasy X,
Yeah.
and or Sphere Board. What do they call it?
Sphere Grid.
Okay,
Yeah.
it was the dress board Sphere Grid, right?
Oh, right.
All these arcane terms.
Don't come in here with your goddamn Final Fantasy X too.
Hey. Okay.
Don't even get into it with him.
You're
right.
It's
You're
just
right.
not worth it. Nothing good can come of it. But yeah. Speaking of Final Fantasy, or not Final Fantasy 9,
Oh.
Dragon Quest 9.
Okay.
Dragon Quest 9. Speaking of that, Next week's episode is going to be the rise of the portable and how it's going to take over the world. And that is retro because up until now, portable systems have mostly been a place for classic games to be dumped and classic series that couldn't quite be viable on consoles to find sequels like Mega Man and Castlevania.
Yeah.
But now all of a sudden you've got the biggest game in Japan, the biggest series, going portable instead of on the consoles. And that means something. It's like, build a mountain of mashed potatoes and stare at it and say, this means something.
Right.
This is important.
If Wii and PS3 really split the market, DS will be the highest user base system.
Well, it's got
Japan.
a 2-year head start and a really, really high-selling head start at that.
Right. But it's also got a dominance.
Right.
That neither Wii nor PS3 will probably take.
Right. So we're going to basically talk out of our asses for an hour next week. So join us. It'll be fun. Anyway, thanks again, Ray, Chris, and Shane, who disappeared a while ago. And we'll see you next week.
There's no place to escape to. This is the last podcast. On the left. From your grave. That's when the cannibalism started. What was that?
I've been pumping iron, man. Really? Yeah.
What have you been doing?
Just a lot of.
Do you just do that and you sit in the house?
All day now, I just go on and off my exercise bike and I pump iron.
God, you must be frightening in the living room.
I'm loving it, man. I'm doing push-ups on my knees.
What does Travis do? Does he just sit and just
Looks
watch
at me.
Like, if he comes in here with an AK-47, he's about to shoot up the fucking Capitol building.
All right, welcome to the show, everyone. I am Ben Kissel with Marcus Parks, and he's back from disgusting Los Angeles. He's in studio.
I'm in even more disgusting New York City.
Oh,
yeah, I love it. As soon as I come over the BQE and I see that skyline, I go, all these other fucking cities are trying to be that skyline, but they can't be. They don't have the fucking guts.
And they're not built on a trash heap. Yeah.
We have the guts. We live on top of a gigantic radioactive trash heap.
Wow, so brave.
Brave.
Well, speaking of trash heaps and overall things that are disgusting, this episode, I'm sorry, what we're going to talk about, it is disturbing to say the least.
You say I'm sorry, I say you're welcome.
All right, well, it's Children of God, Part 3, and it's just getting ookier and...
gookier. I say ookier and gookier.
Sure.
I don't mean gookier.
We don't have to clarify. It's more of a spunky.
You know what I mean.
It's very spunky.
It's very... Yes.
Spunky.
Yeah.
All right.
This episode made me feel like Pete Townsend doing research, quote unquote research.
Yeah, me too. That's exactly how it feels. This is going to be the low point of our Children of God series. It's going to be a 4-parter. This right here is all of the disgusting stuff that we've been alluding to, that we've been hinting towards for the last couple of episodes. This is it right here. This is why the Children of God should be wiped away.
If you're babysitting right now, wait till you're done.
Yeah, definitely. Don't listen to this with a child or
If you
anybody.
have a child like on your knee,
Nuh-uh.
just get rid of it.
Go away.
Get out of there. You're disgusting, first of all.
No, if you're walking near a playground, or even if you're thinking about having a child, don't listen to
Don't
it.
listen to this podcast.
Absolutely not. So let's start off with flirty fishing. Now, flirty fishing is something that we've been alluding to for a while now. Let's finally get into this practice. Flirty fishing was a form of religious prostitution based on Matthew chapter 4, verse 19. Follow me, and I will make you fishers of men.
But basically, he was talking to Paul and Thomas, who I assume must have had the sweetest apple bottoms in all of America. all of the whatever in Jerusalem at the time.
Jerusalem.
Because Jesus Christ was just surrounded, and don't get me wrong here, but I assume by 12 homosexual men in the desert.
Oh, tight men. There wasn't enough food to be fed.
And so they're walking around dressed as ladies like Bugs Bunny in the cartoons, from the Looney Tunes cartoons, and attracting men, and then they'd flip off the fucking dress and be like, haha, got you. And then the guy that they fished was just like, oh, I knew all along. I could see mustache at bottom of scarf.
Yes. I don't think this was supposed to be a parable or an analogy for sex. It was supposed to be about saving people's souls, right?
Well, I mean,
Sure,
that's
whatever.
That's what what my parents led to me to believe.
Yeah,
anyway.
and you remember when we were in high school, there were all those douchebags that wore the hooks on the bills of their caps?
Yes, what was that about?
That was about fishers of men.
They just liked bait. Everybody this is all. I mean, yes, of course it was supposed to have a nice meaning, but this is the coolest meaning of all. Flip it into prostitution.
I guess so. Yeah, I always thought they were just ready to fish whenever they were looking for a bass.
So starting with just women in the inner circle, Berg ordered members to go out, pick up guys wherever they could, seduce them, and then bring them back into the cult afterward. Now, David Berg at first justified flirty fishing by saying it was the only way left for the children of God to recruit members, as they were being persecuted so widely for their practice of litnessing, which was just handing out pamphlets.
I see.
But that still happens nowadays with Greenpeace and people working for LGBT sort of thing, and they're doing lovely work for very good societies, very good charities. They're annoying as shit. Don't talk to me. Don't look at me.
They harass you on the streets.
Don't touch me. Which is why.
Do they touch you?
They sometimes will do that thing where they try to flirt and they touch your arm, and I'm like, "Don't you fucking touch me?
Yeah,
don't touch me. I'll burn your whole building down." And I escalate.
Yeah,
I'm a Marxist.
to bring it to another level there.
Yeah, what they're saying is that they needed a more clandestine way to recruit members through unconventional methods, and so flirty fishing was born.
I do like the idea of Gary Ridgway picking up one of these Christian prostitutes, and then he's in a torture chamber. He's living the horror life that he wasn't even expecting. He thought he was going to kill them. And now he's a member of the Children of God. That's worse than anything.
Oh, no. Gary Ridgway would have strangled her to death long before she started talking about David Berg.
You're always right, Dog Meat.
I'll have to give it to him once again.
Now, about the FFers, as they were called, Berg said that they should not let self and pride enter in, and reminded them that according to 1 Corinthians chapter 6, verses 19 and 20, their body had already been bought by Jesus through the crucifixion, and this was their way of paying him back.
This guy's playing fast and loose, and when it comes down to it, he could have done whatever he wanted. Again, we're going to see that David Berg used the cult to sort of live out his own fantasies, and a part of his fantasies was being a gigantic pimp.
Yeah. And that's exactly what this was. That, and these women, they called themselves like hookers for Jesus. There was absolutely no pretending here. They knew exactly what they were doing.
And that is kind of a biblical trope, Mary Magdalene and all that.
Because
that whole
she was
gang.
blowing Jesus, right?
Yeah, she blew the whole town, and he saved her life.
And then you have to suck his dick if he saved your life.
I would assume there's some documents that were missing.
That's an Italian rule.
I'm not going to disagree with you.
Police officers in Rome get blown every day just by faking killing people. You know what I mean? They fake catastrophes.
It's a bad system.
No, Berg's ultimate justification, and the justification he would eventually use to excuse any and all horrific behavior the cult might engage in, was from Titus chapter 1, verse 15, which said, "To the pure, all things are pure."
And it's just after you say it over and over again, after you just got done molesting your granddaughter, then you turn to the side and go, "To the pure, all things are pure."
But I think you could even take it to a situation where you're chewing your gum. Oh, it accidentally falls out of your mouth. You got to pick it up. To the pure, all things are pure. And you pop in a piece of filthy Wrigley's.
Technically, that's where the 5-second rule came from.
I think that might be the case.
But it's sad how the 5-second rule then somehow, in some twisted way, led to molesting your granddaughter.
You know what? You are caught up on that, but at the same time, it happened, and I have to be. I have to allow that to.
You are a little jammed up on the whole molesting.
It's really fucked up.
They just seem to be the thing that you can't get out of your brain.
I can't get it out of my brain.
Now, this right here, this is a clip of Berg talking about flirty fishing.
My sexy little fishes are doing the job. They tease them, flirt with them, then screw them until they drop. That's the way to bring them to the Lord. Forget all that old-fashioned gospel preaching. We're 6 times more effective than Billy Graham. Praise the Lord.
Hallelujah.
Good God, he sounds like Bob Ross and the old guy from Family Guy, the child molester.
He actually does kind of look like Bob Ross.
A little bit. If Bob Ross only painted gaping, God knows. Yeah, I don't want to say anything. This whole episode's so disgusting.
But one thing I will say the term refreshing. What I find refreshing is that David Berg is at least out in the open about being a total sex deviant.
Yeah.
Where most priests do that on the private inside of their offices. He came out and he made pamphlets about